Hi, I'm Faith and welcome to the Faith Daily Show. Yesterday on the program we talked about the economic crisis versus the relationship crisis and how we can change that particular crisis in our life being the relationship crisis. I'm sorry, I don't have any advice for you on the economic crisis. It's just not in my resource manual. But I do have a resource manual to help you in the relationship crisis that you're in. And you know what? In both instances, you have to have a plan, right? You have to have a determination and a focus on how you can change the crisis that you're in. Actually, a crisis is just the opportunity to take a problem, and a problem breaks down to being an obstacle that keeps you from your goal. So your goal is to actually change your relationship crisis, right? Right. And that takes focus and determination. Remember, I have the PhD in pain, hurt, and disappointment that I traded in for a new PhD, that being of peace, healing, and determination to do it God's way. With God in the center of my life and my relationship, I know that I can have the very best, and so can you. So today we're going to figure that out. We're going to have a plan of attack. What we need to do is, in the economic crisis, we've been presented with a stimulus package that's supposed to help all of us overcome all of our obstacles and our problems, right? This is the cure-all for the economic crisis. Well, for the relationship crisis, I've got a plan for you. We need to stimulate our relationships in a way that we haven't ever done before, or maybe even tweak them. Maybe they're not all that bad. Maybe they're just going through a little bit of challenges right now. Well, okay, so let's look at that. Let's look at the plan that we have. So today I have a plan for you. What we must do is make a decision. Foremost is that we are going to make our relationship a priority. I know and you know that at work we make our career a priority. We have to set certain things in order, time management, all these great things, right? Well, today we're going to do the same thing. We're going to talk about how we can do that. One of the things that we have to do is to make this determination and this focus that it has to be a priority in our life. It has to be intentional time set aside to work just on that relationship. I know I said the bad word, work. Well, that's what it is. It's work. Nothing in life is easy, okay? You spend all these hours going to seminars, to meetings, to conferences, talking about, tweaking on, working on all these different areas in your career to make it the best, right? You know, so that you get that increase in salary at the end of the year. Well, what increase are you getting in your relationship, or is it bankrupt? Well, then maybe you need to refocus yourself and start thinking of some ways that you can make this relationship the best. Well, here's the plan. Number one, I want you to take some time away and really look at your life. Is God really in the center of your life and relationship? Are you and your wife on the same page? Is everybody in your family sort of focused in on how important God is in your life? If not, you may want to look at that first and foremost, because without Him, as I've said, you don't have a relationship, okay? What you need is God in the very center. Because you see, what is so difficult about not having God in your life and in your relationship is that without Him, we can do nothing. But with Him, the Bible says, we can do all things. That's right. So what is impossible with you and yourself is not impossible with God in the center of it. It only makes sense to put Him in there and put Him at the top of the list, okay? So that's number one. Then you need to look at the time that you're spending with your spouse in gut level communication. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. We talked about the gentleman on the radio who talked about how he spent more time in golf, more time at work talking to everybody else, and then came home and just chilled out to the TV, didn't want to talk. The wife's off doing the thing with the kids. You know, she's busy doing all these other activities with the kids. She's not in focusing on him either. Okay, we're just stuffing in the food, watching the little tube and going to bed, waking up the next day. Everything's the same. So what we need to do is we need to say, I need to set a time aside that I'm not watching TV, that I'm not focused on the children, but I'm just focused on you. That's it. I'm focused on my spouse. I'm focusing about building this relationship and making it better. Find out what's going on in their life. Find out what they like, what they don't like anymore. Hey, I got news for you. They probably like things different now than they did 10 years ago when you ask them. Yep, that's right. I know you don't like that, but that's the way it is. We do that. A lot of times we stop talking about what's important, what got us into this relationship to begin with, how attractive we were to them, the time that we took to go out and maybe just have a soda or a glass of tea or, you know, a hamburger together and laugh about today's events. When's the last time you even laughed together about something so crazy that was just about you and her? Something that you guys did in the past. Well, think about that. Set some time aside to go out and have an intentional date with them. And then I want to talk about the fact that not just do you need this time alone with each other, you need to do some of the things that brought you two together to begin with. Maybe it was that you flirted. Maybe you could send her or him a text message during the middle of the day and say, hey, good looking, what's new? You think George Clooney's in town and he's looking good. Hey, I thought you looked a lot better this morning. Or, hey, I just saw Paris Hilton. She is nothing compared to you. Okay, there are 100 ways that we can turn around and show the person that we see them, that we appreciate them. We love the way they look. We love the little things that they do for us. Take some time aside. Send them a note during the day. Send them an email. We have so many ways that we can communicate today that it's not really that difficult to keep this relationship going, okay? You know, and the old adage, you can send flowers, that works too. Trust me, I got some last week from somebody. It was on the top of the charts for me because he made sure that I received those flowers before I left the studio. What attention to detail there. Hey, he got my attention. If you want her attention or his attention, do something like that. Another thing you can do is to take time to do things that you both like to do together. You know, whether it's golfing or fishing. Hey, somebody's got to make a sacrifice, right? I'm going to say something that you men might find a little bit intimidating. You know, take some time out, go with her shopping, and watch her try on all those outfits. I know it's not the favorite thing to do, you know, but check it out. It just tells her, you know what, I find you valuable. I find this time with you valuable, and I want to make it the best, that I'm willing to sacrifice what doesn't interest me. Same thing for her. Maybe she's to say to him, hey, you want to go play golf with the guys? That's great. I've got some things I need to do here. Go take that time with your friends. Build that relationship with them. Let me tell you, the moment you set them free or the moment you show interest in them, you have them. They know that you care for them, that you love them, and that you find them valuable. You know, the same thing with your children. Take some moments out just to say, hey, what happened today? Anything good? Anything bad? You know, so anything I should know that you're not telling me? I do this all the time. The moment my daughter walks in the door, I am her attention, okay? I want to know, did anything happen today? Anything bad or good? Go ahead, lay it on me. I'm ready for it. And you know what that tells her? I love her. I care about her. She is an important part of my life. So you know what? Those are things that we can do in our lives to just take some time for each other. You know, again, I go back to the story of the guy that on the radio that talked about how he had come to this realization that in his life that he was giving more time to everything else and less time to his family, and how he had to make an intentional effort to change things. Well, you know what? We all do. We all do. If we want to see the economy turn around, we've got to take some attention to the things that we are spending our money on, where we're investing, all these other things. Well, do the same in your relationship, and I guarantee you, with God in the center of your relationship and you're determined and focused to change things, it's going to happen. That's the Faith Daily Show. I'm running out of time, so tomorrow we'll pick up from here. I think what we're going to talk about tomorrow is another thing that's really, really, really in the minds and the hearts of those that are single, and that is, where do I find this guy? All right, for Faith Daily and the Faith Daily Show, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.